get started. It's good to see you today. And today we thought we'd turn things around a little bit. Usually, you're asking the questions and we're providing information. And today we thought we'd ask some questions and get some feedback and some opinions from each of you. So, we will be doing, as we've talked about before, we will be doing our new Art Expo Chicago Fair in October, October 8th through the 11th, 2026, on the seventh floor of the Chicago Merchandise Mart. Very exciting. What I can tell you about that, and I know that some of you have been to the Merchandise Mart, some of you have done the one of a kind event. It'll be on that same floor. And the way that floor lays out, essentially, it'll look very much the same, white walls, white gallery walls, as any one of our other fairs does, except for one thing. The walls are only 8 feet high. Our walls are usually 10 feet high. And in Red Dot, they're 12 feet high in Red Dot, Miami. So this is a little bit different. The booths will have more linear feet in them, but essentially it'll be about the same amount of running linear feet as any one of our booths might have. And the price for a solo booth or even one of our gallery booths at Art Expo Chicago will run in line with the pricing that we have for Art Santa Fe. So, right in that price range. A 4x10 solo booth at Art Santa Fe is $19.95. So you can kind of think about and kind of know what to expect. We're working on a floor plan right now. We've got the website ready to go. Social media is ready to go. We're just waiting for the final floor plan. We will be taking up the entire seventh floor, which is a very large space, but remains to see how much of that space we will be taking up with the actual fair. Might be kind of like we do in when we were doing San Diego. Those of you who participated in Art San Diego might remember that there was a lot of, I'll call it behind the wall space. So there was good storage space and that sort of thing. So we're anticipating that as well. So that's kind of what we know so far. And here are the questions. How do we attract a great crowd? Do you know other artists that we should be inviting that are, adjacent to you, other fairs that you've done in your area that, Sophie's on the call, the artists from MCP2 are on the call, and because of where you're located, there are fairs that you've done locally that maybe there are people that do those fairs that should be coming to Art Expo Chicago. So let's start there. What do you think? How do we attract a good crowd? What's going to make this sensational?
First of all, yes, we know a lot of artists. In fact, I messaged somebody this morning on Instagram who was across from us at Art Expo at One of a Kind.
Art
Um,
Expo Chicago.
well, One of a Kind Chicago. She does,
Yeah.
yeah, and said, hey, it hasn't been announced yet, but they're going to be doing the show. When we get the info, we'll let you know. So we're already thinking of, we probably have 15 people off the top of our heads that we can just push toward. This is a great show. We already talked you up last year at One of a Kind. Hopefully some of those folks will take at least a solo booth.
All great artists.
All great artists.
Great.
Obviously, you know, one is Clifton Henry, who was a photographer at Miami, who's in Miami next to us. He does beautiful work.
And he's out of Chicago.
He's out of Chicago. A couple other artists out of Chicago I can think of, as well as some from here in Minneapolis. So we'll definitely be reaching out to them. As far as attracting crowds, I heard rumors that you might be able to get the One of a Kind mailing list. Did that happen?
Until everything is finalized and we have approval of our floor plan, we don't have access to any of that stuff. And that's even one of the reasons that we haven't made the announcement, because until we've got that approval from the folks at the Merchandise Mart, we're not allowed. But we have been told that we will most likely, I don't know if we'll get the list from the One of a Kind show, but we will get the designer list for the building.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. As well as reaching out to any other designers that you can in Chicago. We did that. Actually, we have a couple of contacts there. No. As far as getting butts in seats, so to speak,
across the threshold.
Just everybody across the threshold.
But
We have an opportunity to work with the security team in the building. Laura was in Chicago a couple of weeks ago and did a walkthrough, met with some of the principals, and you know, on the first floor there's a security team, and we'll have an opportunity to indoctrinate them. And maybe even have one of our own people on that first floor at some, you know, a couple of the main entrances, and we'll also be on, there's monitors throughout the building, and we'll be on those monitors as well.
Their security team, by the way, is the best.
Good, great, good to know. So what do you think, what does opening night look like? Do we have music?
Jazz, yes.
Yeah.
How about UBS? We love them.
Oh no, in San Diego, that was clearly the best night in San Diego. Every conversation we had, and that was our first show, so we were kind of like overwhelmed, but every conversation we had was wonderful.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, exactly.
not sure about that, but yeah, we'll work on partnerships and that sort of thing as well. I actually, you know, in San Diego, we had a great relationship with Humble Design, and their original base was Chicago. That's where Humble Design started. So we're in conversation with Humble Design. We'll see where that leads to. But we're starting to do, you know, put together the list for outreach, the museums, curators, and that brings me to another question. We're thinking that, you know, in the pre-pandemic Wayback Machine, for Art Expo New York, there was an extensive education program. And there was an area that was dedicated. It was a art talk theater. Set up chairs, stage, all of that, and we organized talks, whether they were for collectors. So my idea is, what if we featured, a panel discussion of several designers on different topics, color, design, art in your home, all of those kinds of things. So there's that opportunity. There's also an opportunity, and maybe we would do it from that same stage. Maybe it would be a different stage. There's room on the seventh floor to do multiple things. So one of the other ideas that we had is the success of the art theater that we've done the last couple of years in Spectrum, Miami, and people love that. The exhibitors love it. It's live art demonstrations. We get an MC who has been a nonprofit organization, so it gives them exposure. So we could do that. Are there other, pavilions, other things that you've seen other fairs do that we should think about doing?
Yeah, so hi, it's Eric. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Um, yeah, I'm kind of looking for Minneapolis is how far from Chicago?
7 hour drive.
7 hour drive, hour flight, hour 15 flight.
And there is not a good art fair in Minneapolis, right? Just some outdoor street fairs, right?
No, there is not.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of outdoor fairs, but nothing inside.
yeah, I mean, we certainly know how to put on art fairs and all the marketing to do and the Facebook advertising and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like, in the Midwest, that's why you guys were important. It's because, there's other cities around there like Detroit,
Milwaukee?
yeah, Milwaukee,
Oh, yes, Detroit.
Cincinnati, I mean, St. Louis could get to Chicago. I'm kind of wondering, is there like this Midwest art community, something that we should be tapping into? I'm not sure about that. I haven't looked into that yet. But that's the kind of stuff and then if you had any really crazy ideas that you wanted to do, like, we could do a whole area and have everybody put one piece in, and every piece would be, $500 to $1,000 to attract young collectors, stuff like that.
I think that's a really good idea.
That's a great idea. And they
Yeah,
actually
I mean,
they can set
have
space for that. They do that for you can get your piece in, it's a selected piece, and that's how people discover you. They do that at One of a Kind. And we had people come to our booth because they saw our piece in that section.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Stuff that we can't do in Miami because of our limited space and we sell the whole place out, like New York. But, Chicago, we've got 50,000 square feet, which is a lot for a first year event. And we have room to fill things up with special attractions, like if you wanted to say, like even a 20 by 20 area, we could hang, some pieces in there, $500 to $1,000, stuff like that. And that's kind of like, if you had any crazy ideas that you wanted to throw out, that's kind of what this call was about. On our end, we'll take care of all the stuff we're going to take care of, and we're also going to price it real well. It's going to be more like, it's not going to be as traditional as it is as we do in, like Miami, where you can buy a 4x10 or a 10x10 or a 4x20, because there's pillars in this floor and they pull these walls, and there's plenty of wall space to hang a lot of art. It's just not as conventional as, us putting up our own panels. So you might have a booth that's 17 feet by 27 feet. And I mean, and a booth that big might only cost like $7,000. So, it's going to be kind of a weird deal, but it's going to be really cool. Laura, I wanted to go see the place because she does all the creative directing stuff and builds our website and everything. And I wanted to get her opinion. And Jeff and I flew out to Chicago and toured the seventh floor of the merchandise mart. And Jeff was a little bit doubtful when we got there. And then we walked in, he goes, "This is awesome." He was like, "This will be totally cool." So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of what we were just picking your brains on this call a little bit to see if you had any other ideas. They don't all have to come out on the call. You can certainly take your time and throw ideas at us as we get closer.
I know this is kind of an off the cuff one, but Chicago, which is my original hometown, is known for the blues. And so perhaps like a female DJ blues player, you're going to get quite a few of them down there. Just something that's different than that more of the rock and roll or
Techno.
or but a nice blues DJ might be a great idea there too.
Good idea.
Yeah. There will be plenty.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, and then Laura stayed in the hotel, which is adjacent to the building, which is so great. You just get up in the morning, walk over, and go get your Starbucks.
Yep, we've stayed there too a couple times.
So when you talk about things like that, it's like, I think when we advertise it for attendees and even exhibitors, it's more like a whole Chicago experience than it is just, you know what I mean? Like, I was trying to write a little story in my head. Like, I wake up on this day, I set up my booth, and I go out to dinner and get some deep dish pizza. And then right?
At Giordano's.
Right. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I think that the whole idea of a Chicago experience, it's kind of like one of those day one, here's what we do. Day two, here's what we do, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we can set that up. And depending on who our partners are, it all starts to, fill in. Creating that, what does United Airlines call it? The perfect 3 days in whatever the place is, So yeah, the perfect 3 days at Art Expo Chicago.
Would include a trip to the Art Institute. We always try to get in early, get set up early so we can hit the Art Institute.
And I just walked there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, right.
Beautiful walk. You hit Stan's Donuts first and you go to the Art Institute.
But a selling point for artists or people coming in, but artists, yes, is the building sits right on the Chicago River, so you can sit. I mean, you can walk all the way along. There's so much to see right outside the front door. You just go for a walk right along the walkway.
Yeah, yeah. Or take one of those. I think it may even, because this is years ago, so it could have changed. But there's an architectural tour
It's
that you do right on the river.
And it's particularly nice in the fall.
We've done it.
You've done it twice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton to do. I'm just trying to pick my brain on, I know we have artists we can reach out to. I'm just trying to pick my brain on any other ideas to get, as I said, butts in seats.
Yeah.
It's a great building. There's parking close by. There's an L that drops off right outside the door. So it's really convenient.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You can go from the airport right to there with a stop or two.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go from the airport to Clark and walk a few blocks, but it's not bad.
I took the train. It was like 7 minutes in a taxi from.
Yeah. You took the train from the airport?
No, I took the train there from Iowa.
To Union
Station.
We would love to be able to do that, but they keep canceling ours.
Yeah, I know it's tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky.
I'm really lucky. I live on the main line that goes, from San Francisco to Baltimore. It's like a mile that
But
way.
I mean, that's another thing. It's really easy to get to Chicago if you're anywhere
From either coast.
Yeah.
from either coast, and also if you're anywhere in the
Midwest.
Midwest.
It's a hub. It's
a hub.
easy no matter where you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of conventions are held there because of it.
Laura, who do you meet on a train?
The Amish, 30% Amish, I would say. I've never been around like Pennsylvania Dutch before, but when you're on the train, that's what you hear a lot.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow. There you go.
Mhm.
Okay, of course, the other thing that's going to be coming up as we look toward 2027 is San Francisco. That that will be a different flavor, sourdough bread flavor instead of deep dish pizza flavor. And that'll be April.
Flavored.
Yeah, that'll be April 30th to May 2nd.
Oh,
Okay.
And it'll be at the Fort Mason Gateway Pavilion, which is a very cool space.
Mm.
It's 2 floors, but it's almost like a main floor and a mezzanine because you can see everything that's going on the main floor from the mezzanine, and there'll be booths that wrap around this mezzanine area. So it'll be a lot of fun, and it's right on the water.
So we're going from New York to San Francisco in
about
2
2
weeks.
Yes.
Go on.
Okay. That'll be fun
Which
for Jeff.
will give you a great opportunity to use our freight concierge program.
We already do. So we have to plan.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yes.
we're gonna start, pumping up the volume on the freight concierge program because we think that it's something that is distinctive. And it's a great program. It can save anybody who utilizes it literally thousands of dollars. So it will be something that will be very advantageous for people that are doing the coast to coast, Art Expo New York to Art Expo San Francisco. So we're once again bringing the Art Expo legacy to Chicago first and then to San Francisco next year. Anything else? Anybody else got questions, unresolved issues, things you want to talk about? Getting ready for, speaking of New York, getting ready for Art Expo New York.
I'm ready.
Okay, me too.
Well,
Almost
there.
Quite.
Or at least in Cleveland.
Or at least in Cleveland or somewhere. Yeah, we started reaching. I mean, we've already sent out tickets to our collectors names we gathered last year, as well as some names that we gathered in Miami. Who said, "Hey, we're in New York." It's like, "Oh, you should come to Art Expo New York." So we did that, but we're also starting to reach out to spas all up and down the East Coast. So we were at dinner the other night showing our friends our work, and they said your work would look really good in spas. So we're doing some cold calling.
Great.
And free tickets. We'll see.
Yeah, good. We're doing a couple of new things in New York. Jessica, who I think you've met, who does our social media, she's got us hooked up with the New York bucket listers. So we're gonna be doing some, and the bucket listers are influencers, people that follow influencers, what's to do in New York kind of thing. So we're partnering with New York bucket listers and see if we can bring in a little younger crowd that are looking to start collecting. So we'll see how that plays out. So we're doing new things, spreading our wings, and it's great to have you along with us, and we appreciate the partnerships. So we'll see some of you in New York, and if you've got issues, if you've got questions, if you need resources over the month ahead, just reach out. We're here to help. See you soon.